Platinum Eagle Podcast.
Yeah. Yes, this is great. My first time really talking other than the night of the game. It's a beautiful day here in Texas, alhamdulillah. Y'all hear that? I don't either. Because it's quiet here in Texas. And you gotta love it being so quiet and peaceful when the Cowboys are not looking great. And we're number one in the division. Man, it's a beautiful thing. I'm gonna skip all the other stuff. I'm gonna get into a little bit more of it later. I want to go over the Philadelphia Eagles being in first place in the division. It's a beautiful thing because Washington, believe it or not, I got more respect for them. Their defense especially. Their defense came out attacking Jalen. They attacked Saquon Barkley. It didn't make it really easy for them at all. You know, the first half of the game. I mean, they made sure that both was pretty much contained. I don't know what they was doing, but it didn't last for the duration of the whole game. As you can see, if you watch the game, it wasn't so sustainable to the point where it was going to hold a good team. Who am I kidding? A great team like the Philadelphia Eagles down for too long. It was a defensive battle, yes. We actually had a really great defense against those guys as well. You know, Zach Bond still all over the field. It is so hard to get that man's eyes off the ball carrier. They try tricks every week. They try different schemes every week. And Zach Bond is up for the challenge. Zach Bond, that dude's ready, man. You know, like I said before, we got to sign him to a long-term extension. Even if it's as minimal as 2 years, we definitely need Zach Bond in for a nice contract that he deserves, and that's not going to hinder the team whatsoever. Again, the Philadelphia Eagles kind of went off in the second half, and I'll get into Saquon Barkley's stat in the second half as well. You know, like I said, he had him bottled up for the most part. He didn't break off with no really good runs, but he actually did a really good job in the third quarter with one of the nice takeoff runs and got somewhere around 20-something yards. I think it was like 30-something yards actually, into the Washington Commanders' red zone. Everybody be talking so bad about my homeboy Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell, they don't talk bad like he's a bum, but they don't put no real respect on his name. He's a smaller back and a little bit more shiftier. It's easier for them to tackle Saquon at times, not because of strength or nothing like that, but because of the size of Saquon. It's easy to get hands on him versus Gainwell. He's a little shiftier. Now, he's not a power back. No, I'm not saying he's a power back. I'm saying that Kenny Gainwell is a slasher. He's going to get through those hard, you know, those smaller areas a little bit better than Saquon at times. I'm not going to say all the time because Saquon is he's a wild physical specimen. Pause. He is one of the ones, though. We ain't going to lie and act like anything different, and I'm not going to act like y'all don't know that. Speaking on the defense still, Jalen Carter. The man played 100% of the snaps. I think he played 96% of the game. No. Throughout the year, he played 96% of the games. I think it was a stat saying that Fletcher Cox played about 95% or 94 or something like that. It doesn't matter. Both of them are really, really good. I miss my boy Cox, you know, because he was one of those ones for us for a while, and he still was really good on his last season. But Jalen Carter is a madman on the field. You know, he had Daniels so uncomfortable. The whole defense did really, but he had Daniels so uncomfortable. I think Daniels got flashbacks of the college, you know, the college game when he was at LSU, and he got picked up by the one and only Jalen Carter. Like I said, he is one of those ones. He's one of them ones, man. You know, I ain't gonna hold you, man. You know, I'm so glad we got him on the team. And I'm so glad that he kind of fell to us and he wanted to come here. That makes even the more special, being as though he's in a place that he wanted to be drafted at, and he's with us and making his heyday with us, and hopefully it continues. And he's only going to get better because he's young. His second year in the league, so I expect a lot of really good things from Jalen Carter. We're moving on to Jalen Hurts. He threw for 221 yards, 0 TDs and 0 interceptions. He had an 88.5 passing rating. That Jalen Hurts was very uncomfortable as well. Like I said, the defense of Washington's team, they actually had him, kind of nervous. It looked like, he played a little bit nervous, a little bit against the Cowboys, but it seemed like before this game here and before he settled in, he always usually played nervous against the Cowboys. Though I'm talking about the Commanders, but this time, like I said, the Commanders' defense, their defensive front is definitely a really good team, definitely a really good front. Their cornerbacks, they're not terrible, but they're not great. They're not really locked down like the corners we got. So I'm so glad we got the corners that we got as well, because we definitely are benefiting so big with the defensive back plays of the guys we got on the team. So I'm so glad that and so grateful that Howie changed his philosophy in terms of drafting this season. So it just feels so good. It just feels so great. And I'm sure the Philadelphia Eagles fans agree with me. Everybody else got to see what we see, and the world hates us and we don't care. And that includes the refs. I always talk about it. I don't be just making it up on the top of my head or shooting it out my you-know-what. I be telling like it is. The referees, they hate the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, if they love the Cowboys because they be cheating for them, you can tell that they be cheating for them. It's not just, like I said, something that I'm saying and it's not true. If they cheating for the Cowboys, and they love the Cowboys, then in my mind they love the Cowboys. And they love the Cowboys, and in my mind they cheat for the Cowboys. So if they do that, it's not just in my mind, it's just so, in the event that this video ever get big and blow up, they can never try to come back at me and say that I'm, but if you see what I see, and I'm not talking about through a biased lens, I'm talking about really what I see, you will see that the referees always are real favorable to the Cowboys, and they're really dishonest, in my opinion, when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Even going back a couple weeks ago, talking about the Saquon Barkley so-called drop, fumble. He really had no fumbles this season so far. But they try to make it a fumble when they know that the dude, even after looking at the replay, looking at the guy smack his leg to trip him up, and it tripped him up. So, like I said, we're not going to go back into old stuff. If y'all see what I see, y'all see the referees are putrid. The so-called pass interference we got, and it was trash. It was trash. Now, when we get pass interference against us, I don't hold the referees accountable for something that they got to do. It's their duty and their job to call what they see. So if they call what they see and they actually see it and there ain't no bias to it, which I believe it is, then hey, I have no problem with it, because again, they have a job to do, and I wanted to be fair when it comes down to it. Whether we are infractioners or the other team are, I want to make sure that it's honest. It's honest calling. But yeah, Saquon Barkley, 39-yard touchdown at the end in the fourth quarter to pretty much ice the game up for him. You know what I mean? And it's crazy how his vision was. I saw it, and he saw the same thing I saw. I'm like, nah, cut back into the middle of the field. He cut back in the middle of the field just as if he saw me say or heard me say that. And the rest is history, man. He ran up in there for a 39-yard touchdown, and I think he also had a 20-plus yard touchdown right before that. So Saquon Barkley was 26 touches with the run, that is, for 146 yards, 2 TDs, and 2 balls thrown to him. And he made some great yards out of the balls that's thrown to him as well. Saquon Barkley is as advertised, man. I couldn't have asked for another running back on our team. You can question Derrick Henry, but at the same time, and speaking of which, he even got more yards, 17 more yards more than Derrick Henry as of right now. Of course, Derrick Henry plays this coming week, so I'm sure he'll get more than 17 yards. But it's still a rat race between those two running backs to be the number one rusher in the NFL. So I like both guys, man. I'm not even mad at the Ravens for what they're doing. I mean, they got a nice 1-2 punch for Lamar and Derrick Henry. So just like we got a nice 1-2 punch with Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, and I love every bit of what we got over here. So I don't have no buyer's remorse like some other teams do. It started off slow, like I said, for Saquon Barkley. So, I'm glad that he actually picked up the pace and, he gets hot as the game goes on. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to love the fact that he's not going to give up on his assignments. And I love the fact that our coaching did not give up on running the ball. They're going to give in sooner or later, especially with a ball carrier like Barkley. They're going to give up sooner or later. And I'm so glad they gave up. They didn't really give up, but they bent some. And when they bent some, that's all we needed, because Saquon Barkley would take it and do the rest of it. Jake the Make, man. Jake the Make is turning to, I heard somebody else call it Missy Elliott. Because Jake Elliott, Missy Elliott, missing the ball, missing the field goals. I liked that. So I'm going to have to take that if you don't mind. Whoever, Eagles fan who came up with that, I love it. I don't love it really, because I want to see Jake making these field goals. I like Jake to make a whole lot better. But I gotta call a buck up. I gotta call a spade and keep it a buck. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from Jake Elliott. Usually the guy's clutch. Him and Baltimore's here, going back to Baltimore. Excuse me. Usually they are pretty much. I forgot to do his name, but usually they on accurate. Right now, I don't know what neither of them doing right now. So. But I'm only more so concerned with our kicker, and Jake is kind of like, he's kind of like disappointing me. And then I think some of it could have something to do with the coach taking his opportunities away from him in earlier games. But again, all you do is practice kicking field goals. So I don't know if I want to give him that excuse, if you will. But he took 7 points off the board. He missed 2 field goals, and he missed 1 kick point after the touchdown. So both of them, all 3 of them was terrible. It was like our kicker was injured instead of their kicker. Their kicker was actually injured and coming back off an injury, I think it was. So, or I think they got a new guy in there for those guys. You know what I mean? But you would have thought that Jake Elliott was a little injured and banged up, but nonetheless, it is what it is. Jake Elliott, we need you to get better. We need you to come back and return to form. Please. Philadelphia Eagles Nation. Reed Blankenship. He's the game-sealing picks. It's so crazy. Jaden Daniels, I don't know if he was trying to force it in there, but he threw it. And if he didn't watch tape on Reed, he should have known any kind of ball that he's throwing to the ground or towards the ground, Reed's going to be there to clean it up. That's what he usually do. If you notice, Reed, all his pick interceptions usually come at the end of the game, and they usually come on those low thrown balls to the ground. He'll go and his eyes see the ball, and his hands get the ball, and it's a clean pick. And like I said, Reed Blankenship, he's a great tackler. I think he's even gotten better in coverage. I mean, his coverage skills has gotten a little bit better. I'm not going to say he's like A1 now and he's ready, but that's another guy you got to think about bringing back to the team, because I like Reed Blankenship. I would have signed him probably to a 2-year deal. I understand how he probably did 1-year deal, but he did show that he has potential, at least before the season started, that he has the potential and the goods to be good enough for at least 2 more years. So I would have put 2 years on the contract. But like I said, it is what it is. We'll see. We'll see what it do. When the time comes. But I think you bring him back. It's a lot of guys that you think that I think that we need to bring back, and I think I'll go over that some other time. But right now, I'm gonna go over the coverage of the game. Mitchell needs to get a few picks rather, because he ain't got none. They had him ball thrown to him. Oftentimes. This game here, not so much. Scary Terry was not the only one that was scary. It was Jaden Daniels that was scary when it came to throwing the ball to my man Quinyon Mitchell, because Terry got, I think 20 balls. No, I'm sorry, he had no balls thrown in his direction, and he had coverage by Quinyon Mitchell at least 20 times. And all 20 times, he was locked down. I mean, it was a master of master locks. He had him locked down. So, and of course, Terry McLaurin had respect for him. I saw him on a press conference, and he was saying how he don't play like a rookie. And I'm glad that he actually saw it for himself. And maybe the rest of the world will understand that this guy can hang with the best of them. After hanging with A.J. Brown and Smitty, though, you kind of got to get a guy the benefit of the doubt. You kind of got to say that, if he's that good against those guys, and they was praising him, before the season started. So, of course, you had to see it for yourself on the field after we seen a small sample size against not the Patriots, but the Packers. I was kind of sold. Then, I seen him as the year progressed. And again, on a lot of games, he should have got picks. He should have at least 5 picks right now. But I think he has great, tremendous upsides, and I think that he'll be okay going forward. I'm so glad to see that we have some lockdown corners, and we got some prospects sitting in the wing for when Slay either retires or go elsewhere. I love you, Slay. I got your autograph, took pictures with you, Slay. You know what I mean? Hey, you autographed my favorite hat too. I was wearing it that day when I met you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't wear it no more, but it's crazy. I miss that hat, man. That was my favorite hat. I like the way it was. Yeah, you have to see it. I'll show it one day if it's the Lord's will. But keep it going, Quinyon Mitchell. We definitely need you to keep it going for us because you do some amazing things. You and Cooper DeJean, Zach Bond, my man. It's on the tip of my tongue. The other linebacker. Help me out. N'Kobe Dean. That guy, man, y'all keep it going on that defense. Even my guy CJ GJ, he's came up of late with a couple picks, and I gotta love what I'm seeing. I hope y'all do. We're gonna wrap this video up because I know it's kind of long, but I definitely appreciate y'all rocking with me. I want y'all to see the progress through every video. I want y'all to see this getting better through every video. Again, I'm settling in, I'm getting comfortable, and I appreciate y'all for your patience and rocking with your boy, because your boy knows about his Philadelphia Eagles and football, because I watch it all the time. And honorable mention, so sorry for Harker Heights Knights, last night's game. I went to it, Friday Night Lights, and they were pretty much shut them on the Harker Heights Knights, but that I do digress. I just want to go over that because it was something that I checked out yesterday. Gainwell be getting, like I said, he be getting wild hate on him. I don't like it. I'm saying he's a RB2. He's a great RB2. Some people say the gap between him and Saquon Barkley is massive, but if you want to keep it a buck, the gap between Saquon Barkley and just about any running back in the league is a massive gap. I think you can still put C-Mac, in the conversation. Of course, we already know Derrick Henry is, his nemesis right now. Not nemesis, but his competition right now. So, other than that, I don't see no running backs that's really that good compared to Saquon Barkley. So, again, Gainwell is a great number 2. Give that man respect. Put some respect on his name. He's not a number 1, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? He came through clutch in the third quarter. I mean, Saquon Barkley was taking a rest, and when he's taking a rest, I don't mind him going for the first down, him getting the first touch on first down or second down. He's a slasher. He gets through those holes, as I said before and earlier in the video. So, again, I'm just saying, put some respect on Kenny Gainwell's name. Put some respect on it. I mean, put some respect on it. He goes to any other team, him as a 1-2 punch, especially if they got a pretty good running back, I believe he's going to do some really good things in his career. I would hope that we find a way to keep him because I do like Gainwell, despite all of the hate that he might get from Philadelphia Eagles loyals. Not all of us, of course, but some of us, he gets some hate, and I don't like that, like I said, because he's good. And Goddard had a great game as well, minus the fumble. But Grant Calcaterra was there to pick up the slack, clean it up for him. He picked it up for him, and it was so great to see Calcaterra having a heads up and the speed to get to the ball to make sure the momentum don't change for the Philadelphia Eagles. Because had they got the ball back, we might not have been talking as so happy right now. You know what I mean? Because they played us good. You got to give them credit where credit's due. They always play us pretty good, the Washington Commanders. So I ain't mad. I ain't hating on them. They good. They're a good second place team in the NFC. I'll say that. But where Goddard did come up clutch is when he got the onside kick recovery, and I was so glad to see that because again, you don't want to give them the ball back with a few seconds to go, and we already seen what teams sometimes can do against us Of course, it's before the bye. Alhamdulillah. Before the bye, the teams are usually able to come down the field and make it a contest. Even after the bye, when it comes to the Jaguars, but we closed it and slammed the door on them with the Nakobe Dean pick. So, we already said, we got to keep it. We got to keep playing with that same type of strength, the same type of intensity. We are a good team. We are a great team when we play Philadelphia Eagles football and when the coaches know what to do with our team. And it seems like here of late, they've been knowing what to do with our team, except in the first quarter and sometimes the second quarter. I'm not sure I know what's going on, if we're trying to fill out the competition, but I just don't really love the way we look in the first and second quarter at times. And I'm not trying to nitpick or nothing like that, but if I'm being honest, and I'm covering the team, so I'm going to say that's one thing I would probably, change for the better if I could, would be that first and second quarter play of the Philadelphia Eagles offense. Not so much defense. Defense been doing pretty good, so I ain't got nothing but good things to say about the defense, especially after the bye week. We are rolling. We are flying high, and that's what we always do. Speaking of Zach Moore, going back to him, his fourth down stop on Jaden Daniels, that was clutch. Like I said, he always seemed to know where the ball carrier is. He always have his eyes on the ball. Almost every time, you're not going to fool that guy. He know where the ball is, and he's going to see ball and get ball. If not, he's going to stop the ball from moving in the opposite direction, in the direction we don't want it to go into. So I definitely want to, say kudos to Zach Bond once again in this video. I'm wrapping up. Zach Ertz is still that dude at age 34. I hate the fact that he's with the ops. But at 34, catching the ball, one of their only touchdowns, catching the ball, the only passing touchdown, in the end zone, and then the 2-point conversion, I thought, like most other people and even the commentators during the game, that this was a wrap. He didn't catch that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got 8 points. After looking at it, it broke my heart to see that he actually got 2-point conversion, but it didn't break my heart that they didn't win. So, Zach Ertz, man, kudos to you. You'll always be a Philadelphia Eagles legend. We'll always love you, and it's a great city of Philadelphia. And I want to thank you so much for everything you've done for us. I would hope this be your last year with the Commanders. We got to see y'all again. I know y'all going to be ready, because y'all going to be at home this time. This time it'll be a little bit different when we face y'all next time because, y'all will be at home, like I said, and y'all are actually winning games now. So y'all will have more fans at the stadium than y'all have in recent years because everybody want to jump on the bandwagon when you're winning. So I believe it's going to be something like that right there. We're going to have a fan base to go against. It's usually a home game for us in recent years. We played y'all there because, we take over the stadium. Philadelphia Eagles fans travel really good. I'm sorry I won't be traveling this season because, vacation time and all that stuff, I use it for different things. And, like I said, I'm still a working man, I want to live the retirement life one of these days, but as of right now, I'm still out here on the grind, getting it in like everybody else. You know what I mean? So yeah. Speaking of which, Jaden Daniels played like a rookie yesterday, or the other day, Thursday night game. He was so nervous. He was so uncomfortable. We had Vic Fangio did what he's supposed to do. I'm so glad that he wasn't playing soft and playing the guys too far off the ball. Sometimes he did. That's what he's going to do. So I expect that. He didn't really back him up in coverage. He actually made them go after Jaden Daniels. And I thank him so much for that because in previous years, we thought a quarterback on the defensive coordinator side, we thought a quarterback was good. Oh my gosh, is this guy here? We're not gonna play him close. We're not gonna press him. We're gonna send guys in the coverage that don't belong in coverage. But Fangio is the man. I have nothing but respect for even his scheme right now, because he seemed to be handling the way that he should be. And it seemed like a lot of teams haven't caught on. You can still say that we ain't really played nobody, but at the end of the day, you got to put some respect on Washington's name too. I usually wouldn't say that, and it hurts to even say that, but I got to give him credit where credit is due. The quarterback has, promise and potential. We'll see what he comes down to later on. I'm sure there'll be a lot of more showdowns between him and Jalen Hurts, given that, they keep him around because he's doing his job up there in Washington. But that was pretty much all I wanted to go over in this video. I thank y'all so much for watching, tuning in. Philadelphia Eagles first place. You gotta love it. So it gotta stay that way. We gotta keep playing, and we can't take nobody lightly. You know what I mean? But that's it. You know what I'm saying? I thank you so much for tuning in to Platinum Eagle Podcast. Please like, please subscribe to the video. Put the notification gang on, you know what I'm saying? Because we certainly like to know when I go ahead and drop another video. I want y'all to get it immediately and check it out. I can't wait till I'm able to go live to interact with y'all somewhat. Leave a like and leave a comment in a below section. I certainly appreciate it. We definitely gonna get back at y'all. I thank you so much. I love y'all, respect y'all, and I thank y'all for watching the show. Fly, Eagles fly. Until next time, out.